right, and we should be live. Hi everyone, hi, I'm Cryptic Hybrid. Welcome to today's live stream. Well, today's second live stream. It's the super special live stream of the day because we're not gonna play a game. We're gonna talk about a game that's in development right now, a game that I look forward to, and it's only been a week since I know of its existence. Even though I should know more because I actually have a very good relationship with Yann here. Hi, the one-man army of Goloso Games, pretty much. Like I don't know how to call you because it's like you do everything pretty much. Like apart from audio, right? You do everything. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks you.
And let's just go right in. Let's talk about your newest game, your newest announcement, which is Inspector Waffles Early Days. Give me the elevator pitch. You're in Las Vegas somewhere. I don't know how you got there, but you're in Las Vegas in I don't know, the MGM, whatever, the Grand, whatever, doesn't matter. You have to go to the penthouse and you run into Elon Musk. How do you sell your game to him?
I'm not sure he would be interested by a
I'm sure he's a gamer. He's a gamer. He will like it.
Oh, I'm not sure. But anyway, yes, it's so I made Inspector Waffle. It was released this year, actually in March, and I wanted to make another episode of the story of Waffle, and I thought it would be interesting to make a prequel in a retro console, in a console from the past. So it's a story from the past on a console from the past.
Right.
And so we follow Waffle again, but this time when he just started to work for the police on his first days at work, and he's going to I don't want to spoil the first game, but he's working with his old partner that we met in Inspector Waffles, and now we follow him on his first day and with a new partner, but an all new partner. I don't know how to say, but yes, and so it's a detective game. It has some point and click mechanics. Sorry. Scenes, but it's also like Pokemon on Game Boy. You go to place and you walk around. It's kind of RPG. It's not static like Inspector Waffles. It's more you move, you check stuff in the background, and so it's less point and click, and but it's still detectives, a detective game.
It's still an adventure game per se, like
yes,
an investigation.
Adventure detective, yes.
So now you wanted. So how did Early Days come about when it comes to what came first? The chicken or the egg, like the whiskers or the claws, I guess. Did you first wanted to do a prequel and later on came the idea of, let's make it old school, make it a retro looking game? Or did you want to do something different in terms of the visual style and the feeling, and then you thought of let's do the prequel like that? Like what came first? The prequel idea or the kind of desire to do a retro project?
I wanted to, when I was working on Inspector Waffles, I was at some point of the development, I say, okay, I'm just making this story, and I won't do anything about this, about Waffles. And at the end of the development, I completely changed my mind, and I thought that would be really cool to make another story with these characters, but I really didn't want at all to do just a pure sequel with the same art, the same game mechanics, because so I would be so bored to do.
Because you've been working on that for
yes, and I thought it would be nice to make a story about what happened in the first episode, and I thought I want to change clearly the art, the atmosphere, And I have several ideas, to be honest with you, and this one was my first choice because I could do the art. And
I
the
thought it
other
well, my first choice was actually like doing like a 3D Unreal Engine 4 based
yes,
game, but I had to
yeah,
relearn Unreal Engine, so I thought this
exactly,
was
like a MMORPG. No, I didn't want to do an MMORPG, but you get the idea.
yeah.
And maybe not pixel art, but I
Mm-hmm.
will need someone to do the art, and that will be complicated, and I will need money to also to make
Right.
this game. So I thought that let's do a game that I could do all the art, and because I wanted to do an adventure game again,
Mm-hmm.
and not some other genre at first. And I thought, okay, so let's find a way. And so I looked at all the tools for making games on old console, because I wanted to make a game. At this point, I didn't know on which console it was, so I tried a lot of game engine. I tried to on several console, and GB Studio, the game engine that is not open source, but it's free, and it was very super easy to use, for at least for me. And and I started to do a little prototype, and I have to say, when I started to draw art assets for the Game Boy, I thought, okay, I like to do that. It's only 4 colors, and it's fun. There's optimization, the palettes and so on. I'm not going to talk about details, but I felt quickly very comfortable with doing it, and I worked on that, and after a while, at this moment, not going to lie, I was working on 4 or 5 prototypes for a lot of games, and
Different
most of
projects unrelated to Waffles.
absolutely completely different, but most of them with Inspector Waffles or someone else, or not going to tell detail because maybe I will do this game later.
Right.
But I thought this one was the in terms of time and and have to say sanity, it will be possible to make a game quickly, and so I say, okay, let's focus on this one, the other on hold, and that's how it started. And it was around June, July, I would say.
When you
July,
started,
September.
or when you
No,
decided that you focus on this
yes,
one.
July, August, maybe August. I forgot. And I finished to Inspector Waffles port on Switch, and I was ready to work completely on a new project, and I chose this one at this moment. And now since 3 months, I'm working to make the game I want on Game Boy and Game Boy Color.
And which is a good thing to go into the a good segue to go into questions, because we also have questions from from the chat. And Stephen Dunn, exactly, it's related to this. What are the biggest challenges resulting from the change in format to Game Boy compared to the original Inspector Waffles game? Because right, like you said, you're going with GB Studio, so that was easy to pick up, but like, what does that mean for the versions of early days outside of the game of Game Boy? So do you need to port it? Does GB Studio allow you to port to PC, to Mac, to other consoles, or is it just for Game Boy and you have to take that project and kind of port it to something else? How does that work?
So there are two questions. The first one, it's the interesting part of making a game on GB Studio. It's because Inspector Waffle was made with Unity. Inspector Waffle, the first game, I did what I wanted to do, and there is no limitation in what you want to do with Unity except CPU power, and but you can do whatever you do. And when you do a game on GB Studio, you have to take in consideration that it will be working on
very old
yes, yeah. Very old. So there are a lot of technical limitation. First point, so you can't have a lot of color, you can't have
effects.
The screen size is very precise, you can have a lot of sprite at the same time, and so on and so on. This is the first technical limitation. And then in GB Studio you can do whatever you want to do. It's a simple game studio, but it's not simple, but it helps you to make a game on a Game Boy. If you really want to make a game from scratch, you can have a kind of a dev kit for Game Boy, and you start to code in C or C++, and you start from nothing at all, and GB Studio helps you to simplify the development. But on the other hand, it's you can't do whatever you want to do. So you have to so all I want to say, the big difference between Inspector Waffle and this new Inspector Waffles, in this one I have to adapt my idea of a game design to the technology, to what is actually possible to do. So a lot of my early time on GB Studio was, can I do this game mechanics? Can I do this I don't know, this feature? Can I add it? Is it possible technically to do it? And so the big difference was, okay, so let's try to make this game feature, and if I can't, let's improvise and change it and see if I can do the same. But for example, in Inspector Waffle, we have an inventory. You can drag and drop the items, and this is impossible to do. Well, maybe it's probably possible, but I didn't find a way to do it and you enjoy it, and it's not tedious. So I changed some game mechanics, and actually I changed kind of the way of playing is kind of different from the old game.
Well,
and the second question, I forgot.
Well, it was what do you have to do when it comes to, like, does GB Studio allow you to port to other platforms easily,
yes,
or is it just for Game Boy Advance and you have to do a lot of work, like, in addition to that, to bring it to PC, Mac, and others?
So this is something that okay, so let me explain first. On GB Studio, you export on GB ROM, so you can then use it on an emulator, and you can also export it to a Game Boy cartridge. But also you can export in a HTML5, so you can use it. You can use it quickly to try and a lot of on each IO you have a lot of games made with Game Boy Studio, and there is an export on it's playable on HTML5.
Mhm.
So it's kind of cool. It's really cool that you're able to do that, but well, I don't want to do an export HTML5 to exe, and so I don't know. I will probably do the same game again on Unity, and
What?
yeah,
Okay, but
yeah.
so
But I don't know.
what
I
could
haven't
you?
decided
Yeah,
yet.
could you take? Could you the HTML5 export? Would you be able to take that into Unity and then
I don't know.
work?
I have not
Mm.
looked at it, but it's a mystery for for me right now. But the hardest part of making an adventure game, from my experience, is making assets and writing the dialogues. Then it's just code, and that's not something I'm afraid to do. To make again the kind of Game Boy on a Game Boy on Unity, for example, or Game Maker. I don't know. But I didn't think about it. But it's not something I'm afraid of. So there are a lot of possibilities. So maybe I can start from scratch on another game engine, or maybe I can use the file from the project from Game Boy Studio to import
Import it in.
everything on. Yeah, there are a lot of possibilities. I haven't looked at it, but I'm not very afraid of that. Maybe I should.
Well, no, it's just like the way you're describing it is like you have this plan, and it's like, and then whatever challenge comes to you, then you're just gonna take it on. It's just interesting that since you want the game to be multi-platform, what are the problems with making that true, especially with because that would be the biggest limitation, right? Like the fact that you want it on Game Boy, that's the primary thing that that you have to focus on, and expand from that. Like it's not like, oh, I'm just building on PC, I'm coding, it's everything's working fine, I can just like I can just port it really easily. So no, there's a lot more work involved into it, and this comes to blah blah's question. And it's fair, especially since you mentioned the work that you're thinking that might be required. What makes the Game Boy as a platform interesting? The technical challenges with the file size probably requires a great amount of creativity, like to work around that. So why is it interesting to you as a developer? Why go for that? Is it nostalgia? Is it like you wanted, like, I mean, like, why did you choose that exactly? Because it was like GB Studio, it was there, you know? Because the limitations are quite,
I'm
Is it to challenge yourself? Is that one of the things? Like do you want
no,
the challenge? The new?
no, not really. It's yeah, probably a little bit, but not so much. Actually, something important about me, I'm a retro gamer since forever. When I was 20, I was still playing 20, 25, I was still playing Super NES games. So and I always, of course, there is nostalgia, but also there are a lot of really good games on all console. And yeah, probably having a game from a console when I was young, it's kind of cool and it's motivating. Yeah. But no, I think I think yeah, probably challenging, but also I don't want to get bored. I want to make games and enjoying making games, and I'm not. It's probably my problem, because when you choose to act like that, it's not viable financially. But I want to have fun first of all, and to make game that I would like to play, and that I want to make. And yeah, I would have done something very differently if I would like to be 100% indie dev. But yeah, it's probably challenging, having fun, doing whatever I want, and
Yeah.
maybe it will work. And if it will work, it's cool. If it's not, that's fine. I will enjoy to make it.
Mhm. So something that's unrelated to, but this
Yeah.
work, like probably Steven has played Inspector Waffles, and that's why he's asking that. Like, have you put many Easter eggs in the game?
Oh,
He probably,
oh, yes.
yeah. That's.
Um,
I think that's going to be a
I,
staple of Goloso Games, right? Like many Easter games in each project, which is a great
so
thing. I'm just saying, it's nice to discover.
so a little something for Steven. There are, I don't know, hundred
Countless.
of hidden stuff in Inspector Waffle, because I already have in mind a lot of possible project for Inspector Waffles. I don't want to say Inspector Waffle, for this universe,
Mhm.
and a lot of hidden stuff. And sometimes it's just a sentence, sometimes it's an object in the background, and I have made some kind of stuff that I thought that will be obvious, and nobody talk about it, and nobody said nothing about to me. So
Mhm.
it will be a surprise for most of the people. But yeah, so yeah, and in this new game, there are yes, a lot of reference from old games,
Mhm.
and also you will meet a couple of um, characters you already met, and also some other stuff that I don't want to spoil. But no, it
Mhm.
won't be a fan service game,
Mhm.
but it's just a little touch, that, oh, okay, this is possible, because it was talking about that in Inspector Waffle. If you didn't play Inspector Waffle, you could play this one too, because it's just some little thing for the people who played the first game, but
Mhm.
it's not too much. It's not a fan service game.
Right. So if for anyone coming, like without knowing the universe, they can just come in and
Yeah.
understand and play fine and understand 90% of 95% of the stuff. That's
Mm-mm.
so one of the things that stands out to me, and I'm thinking, what does that mean? In the trailer, the announcement trailer, you have a box and you take out multiple game,
Yes.
and I'm guessing that means that you took some inspiration from them. So you have Under the Killing Moon, which I've never heard of until that.
Hmm.
Then Lethal Weapon, which I've never played the game, but obviously everyone knows the series, and you mentioned that it's more about
Which
the
one?
TV Lethal Weapon. It's more
Okay.
about the movies than the games.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Maniac Mansion, which I guess a lot of people who
Mm.
know the adventure genre are familiar with it. Broken Sword and also LA Noir. Now this combination to me would suggest maybe, and tell me if I'm wrong or not, a more like like um like a mix of dark and also comedy and like buddy comedy for early days. Is that what we're gonna experience from it? Is it going to be different in the sense of the feeling compared to the original Inspector Waffles, the first game, where it's going to be like there's going to be maybe more more comic reference, but also something more like um more pressing, more, I don't know, more dramatic in this one in early days.
Um, yeah, it's interesting what you said, because for me, Lethal Weapon, um, it was one of my favorite movies.
It is awesome.
The three movies, and when I was very young, I loved them. Even if the first one is very violent, and I was very young when I first saw it.
Yeah.
But anyway, um, yeah, I really love buddy movies, and the first game was, I, it's something I really wanted to do with Waffle. With he's witty, he's smart, but he's a bit depressed, not very a bit
Mhm.
sad, not very funny actually. And Spotty, who was the
Comic
very
relief. He was the comic relief.
candid, yes, and very very
Enthusiastic
funny.
and yeah.
Yes,
He was
in
very
it in it without doing it on purpose. He's very funny. He's very nice, and he was the duo, in my opinion, sorry, worked well because there are different behavior, and they both needed to have someone like the other to be together, and it works pretty well. And on this one, it's more like lethal weapon actually. Waffle is young, is like Martin Riggs, Mel Gibson. Is a little bit crazy, but not too much. He wants to prove himself that he can do the job. And Pancakes, his new sidekick, is more the Danny Glover, and like Murdoch is okay. I don't want to do a lot of crazy stuff. I want to go back to my home and enjoy my life, and I don't want to take any risk. And it will be more than that, so less comedy, I would say. But I mean, less comedy in the duo, but not in a game. For example, in your background, there's Peanuts, the receptionist, which I really liked to invent to write dialogues in the first game, and it's still the same. So it's funny to write. And so there's Patches also is drinking coffee on the same picture. Anyway, there will still be the same humor, I would say, but it's more a detective game, and maybe it will be a bit dark because, but I don't know because I didn't write the whole story. But it's possible, and it's a good question. I know where I want to go, and I know the end. I know the cases I want to do, but I don't know the general tone of the game, and
we'll see, right? Like,
yeah, we'll see.
There's nothing
Yeah,
to
we'll
spoil because you like exactly if you don't know exactly, like there's nothing to spoil really.
I don't know. I actually just finished to write the first case, and just need the end of it, and I think it's it's serious and funny sometimes, but it's more detective-y, if I can say, than the first game.
Okay, so you like doing more in terms of like actual like cop or like going around the street talking to people, like
Yes.
finding clues and so on. Yeah.
Yes.
So one thing that I wanted to ask, and is Stephen kind of I don't know if he's connected with my brain,
knows
but
everything.
well, no, it's just that I wanted to ask about this, like when it comes to the story and how it's gonna go. Is he asked like, will the cases be played in order or as a grand story, or they can be tackled in any order you like? And that was my question too. Like, will there be like an overarching story and like small things, well, various quests that you do along the way, or would you get multiple cases and you'll solve one after the other as you progress?
It's in order.
Mm-hmm.
It's in order,
and
because
it's like smaller cases, or is it like do you get a big case that you have to solve, or do you get multiple cases throughout the game?
It's multiple case, and without spoiling too much, because I talk about it on the trailer, it's also it explains a lot of things about the antagonist of the first game. And I'm trying to not spoil anything, but yes, there are cases non-related to this person, and then all the thing we don't know in Inspector Waffles about this arch enemy will be known in this game. So there are several cases, sorry, and I don't know how much. And yes, and at the end of each one, there is a little progress on the main story about the the big enemy of Waffle.
Yeah. So all cases have at least some connection to kind of the end.
Yes.
To the okay. So they're not like you're not making like an RPG in the sense that there's like a storyline and there's storyline quests and then there's like secondary missions. There's nothing like all relate somehow to the end.
Yes.
To the end actually.
But I don't know how many. I don't know how many. It's probably 3, 4, 5. But as you can imagine, I like to add secrets to the game. So I already did them for the first case. So yes, so with a special character, and I won't tell much about it. But if you knew the game, first game, and all stuff about Inspector Waffle will be you know about it. I'm very mysterious tonight. I'm not.
No, but that's normal. I mean, because no, but that's it's still early days, so it makes sense. Like this is more about the mechanics and all. Like the story, you can be fleshed out to some extent, but it's if it's so early, no one expects you to be like, yeah, these are characters. We're gonna do like this. He's gonna do that. Obviously, that's not the case, and it's. I don't think anyone expects that.
I had a lot of stuff from the previous game, and I'm pretty happy that it's not too obvious, and it's. I like the first case, and from what I've done, I'm pretty happy with the result, and I can't wait to share it. But it's just a little bit too early because I haven't tested it yet. So
well, you know what? It's good to see you like decide on one project and like we're gonna do this. No, I'm not. Like we talk like privately quite a bit, and I'm very encouraging of your like of your experimenting with different projects. I'm like because I trust that when you find something that you want to do, you're just gonna settle on that. And it's with this one, I think it seems to be like it's really good for you because it's gonna take less time to do. I think that's would be a refreshing thing for you to not have to take like multiple years to finish a project. And I think maybe that can be a better workflow for you, since you are the type of person who, at least from what I understand, what I've seen, the type of person who not only comes up with new ideas because it's you're very creative, but you also want to pursue those ideas like kind of right away. And it's like
it's true,
and if you can make more projects faster, like you could be a type of person who's more comfortable with like I do prototyping, I do whatever, and I do 2 projects a year, like stuff like or something like that, instead of people who are more comfortable with taking their time and doing something in like 3 years, which obviously it might be a bigger project, but also it's a different workflow and the mentality needs to be different. There's maybe more people involved and so on and so forth. So it depends. By the way, someone said hi there, and their name is Broke Studio, which is that if that isn't the most indie developer name ever, it's like Broke Studio. It's like, yes, awesome. That's that's awesome. So yeah, one of the things that I was thinking about, since you mentioned the Lethal Weapon, how it you took inspiration from that. Does that mean that we're gonna have we're gonna have not pancakes? Well, we're gonna control Waffles, but we're gonna control Pancakes too, or is it
No.
just like okay, so just one,
Yes.
so just
Yes.
Waffles. Okay, and how is that relationship gonna be? Because if you have to respond to a partner, will you always be with your partner? Can you send them out to do specific tasks? How does that dynamic work in early days?
He doesn't really want to work, and you do everything. And at the
Really?
end,
Oh, he's like, whatever, kid. Like, you kid,
yes,
you just
exactly,
all right.
exactly. And at the end, you have to report to him. That's a big
Mhm.
difference with the other games. Now, at the end of the all the interrogation, when you have checked everything,
Mhm.
you have to go to see him, and he asks 5 questions, I forgot. With for example, the first one is who is the suspect, who did it, and you have
Mhm.
the picture you have just on your left.
Yeah, this one.
Yes, this
You
one.
can choose
Yes,
which
and
one.
you have
Yeah.
and you choose, and at the end he told you you not good.
Mhm.
You should have you answer poorly, and you have to start again until you find the right thing.
But will Pancakes be any help along the way? Like, could you like?
No,
No, really? He's just
no,
gonna
no,
let
no.
you? Okay. So he's just a
It's
slob. He doesn't care like at all about his job. Is like, yeah, whatever.
no, he won't. No, it's different. He wants you to do the job, but he already understood what happened,
Oh, okay.
and he just give you the
He just
opportunity
wants
to
you to
prove
get to
yourself.
the.
Yes,
Right, right, right.
but when you are experienced like him, you know what are the have to see the investigation of what is going on, and because you are a rookie, you have to find by yourself. But he's not stupid or lazy. Just want to give you the opportunity to find out. But yes, it will be helpful somehow, but not not like a real sidekick and like Spotty sniffing around. It's just at the end of at the end of every interrogation, every case, it will be useful somehow.
Yeah, like approval. You need his approval, right, to move forward too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's your boss. He's he's your boss.
So wait, so who's the police chief in early days then? It's the
Patches.
new character.
No, it's Patches.
Ah,
Still
okay,
Patches.
okay. Because I was thinking that maybe there would be like a different hierarchy
No,
now.
no.
Like okay, so it's the same.
No. When a manager is bad, is there for forever. It's
Are you trying to
it's
make a
worth it.
statement of the about police?
Yeah, about all my life. Yes. Yes, that's he's not good, but nobody wants to do his job, so he's here.
Okay, so that's gonna be another character that's known from the previous game, and we're gonna see him in the same. Okay.
Yeah, I like him. It's one of my favorite characters.
I don't know. I was just thinking that it would I was thinking because it was years and years earlier that maybe there would be a different like a different configuration to the police station. But yeah, that's the thing that Steven asked, and we touched on it before. We went live. Can we call mom in the game? Well, if you were very, very, very attentive in the trailer, which is linked in the description below, by the way, just go and check it out, and also give it a thumbs up after this live stream. There's mom. Now tell us how much of mom it is. How much of Waffles' mom will we see in early days?
I don't really know yet, but we can see her in the trailer. That's right. Because they live together, but I don't really know how much she will help. Right now on my demo, you can call her, And the answer when she called, it's the dev didn't add this feature, so it's for later. You have to find by yourself. And because it's not necessary for the demo, and I want to make more cases and see if I'm doing the same, because it's, to be honest, it's very boring to do. It's you have to play the game. You have to do all the tasks in the order, write them, create the dialogues for every task. It's, I don't know if I'm going to do it again. It was very tedious, and so I don't know. Right now, I don't know. I know you can call her. I don't know if she will be as helpful as before.
Yeah, but not because Waffles lives with her now. I mean, that's direct contact that you can have with her. So, like in the house, can you maybe not necessarily ask her about the case or anything like that, but is there going to be like more interaction like that, like just like kind of knowing more about his mom and his relationship with his mom, through early days, because she's there physically.
No, I'm not sure. I don't want to spoil, but for the first case, she isn't very useful. She is just in the introduction of the case. You have to go to work. You are late. Like
she wakes you up
first day. On your first day, what a shame. You are my only son, and you are not going to work. And I know the people at work, and you are not good. You are coming late. What a shame. So usual stuff. Mom will say. But except that she is not part of the case, and I don't know. It's the thing is the game is still in the early process, and there are some features I don't know what I will do, and the mom hints are one of them, and I don't know. I know that I have two reaction for the you have to call mom to get help. The first one was, it's wholesome, it's nice, it's a nice touch to call your mom. And some other, it's kind of boring. She is always talking about stuff I don't want. I just want to have some help. And I don't know. I like, for me, I think it was cool and it was fun to do, but I honestly don't know what I will do. But I like the only thing we know that
we know she's going to be in the game, that's for sure. So there is going to be some interaction with her throughout early days. So it's not like she's not forgotten.
Not too much. Don't expect too many interaction. And
okay, so so the action in early days still happens in Cat Town, right? So it's the same.
Oh yes.
Any like major new location that no? So we're gonna see like familiar places from the first game in this one.
Yes. No, the idea is really to focus on the enemy, and the enemy is the bad guy of the city. So we don't need to go in other place. That's yes. And so I don't need it. It's like a mafia game, and you are in Chicago or I don't know another city or New York, and you don't need to go to another place. And all the action is it's like a Scorsese movie. It's happened mostly in New York or in Las Vegas. It depends on the movie, but it's the city has its importance, or the atmosphere of one city.
Okay, fair enough. Now, Steve asked again about. So he definitely. Will there be any side quests like the wool ball cards?
Yes.
Okay. Nothing to. Okay, so just
it won't be.
There will be widgets. No, I understand, but you can't go into it like in terms of like what you have planned.
The plan, yes, I can tell something. The plan is to hide something in every cases. Not every to each cases, and after that, when you find out all the stuff, you will have something more than the secret ending.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
another case.
Oh, well, that would be a pretty big thing. Like in terms
Yeah.
of the content, that that's a lot more than like a congratulations, you got an achievement. It's like like a
Yeah,
little.
I haven't decided yet
Mhm.
because I actually it's in term of optimization.
Hmm.
I don't know how many cases I can put on a Game Boy cartridge, and I
Mhm.
will
Mhm.
do the cases. I think it's mandatory, and so I have three, four in mind, 3 or 4 in
Mhm.
mind, and then with what I have been left, I will add some stuff.
And like going back to the gameplay, because you mentioned the limitations and the changes with the
Mm-mm.
for example with the inventory. So are we going to be free to move around the city, or is it just right? So it's the same. Is the same, like technically you can go anywhere that's available. Let's say that's unlocked per se, and you
It, it,
just.
yeah, it's like
Or is it
Inspector
going to be
Waffles.
like more linear? Like no, you need to go to the the crime scene and then you go back to the what I mean, like, so it's
Mm.
all.
No, it's not.
Uh,
In the first case, you can go to 4 places, 4 locations.
and in whatever order you want, or is it going to be
You have to unlock them, and when you have
okay?
unlocked all of them, you can
Oh, then
go.
you can.
Yeah.
You can go wherever you want, depending on
Yeah.
like if you thought of something, or to find. Okay,
Yes.
okay, so it's gonna be okay. So that's
There
very.
is in the trailer. There is the map, and you can select the place you want to go.
Mhm.
If you notice in the trailer, yes, I think it is.
I don't
I
have
think
any
that
images
I
from
added
that.
to
No,
the
no,
trailer. Yes.
no,
Um,
no. But yeah,
yes.
there's a yeah. We saw the map in the trailer. Is is Fluffy alive then? I'm guessing he is, right? We'll see him. Is there any
Ah,
chance of?
good question.
I mean, he should be alive. The
He's
only thing is
alive.
like, yeah.
It's a big spoil, but yeah, it's the
Okay.
first. It's the first minute of the game, so okay,
I
it's
mean,
not a
it's
big
not.
spoil.
Come on, that's not a
Yeah,
spoiler.
it's not.
Because like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh, Probably yes,
Mm.
but
Okay, he may
not
be somewhere in
like.
Countdown.
Yeah, but it's like there is a big spoil about Fluffy, and I don't want
Okay.
to talk about it, but probably
Right.
about this big spoil next to my head, there is something on your background
Mm.
that makes sense to Fluffy. If I'm
Right.
not, I don't want to say too much, but yeah.
Right. Right. That's fair. Now, sorry. Go ahead. Tell me.
No, it's okay. It's fine.
Now, something that I was thinking about when it comes to the Game Boy first
Mm.
idea. When you would take it to PC, are you thinking of kind of like making the controls more Game Boy like, or are we still going to be like point and click adventure like the first Inspector Waffles, or are you thinking like no, we're gonna be we're gonna use keyboard only, or something, or maybe only the
Mm.
controller or something like that? Like, are you thinking that the Game Boy controls are gonna be mirrored, let's say, on PC, for example?
Yep, it will be a controller or keyboard. It won't be a
No
mouse.
mouse. Okay.
No,
Okay, so
because
you're.
it will be complicated, I guess, to you move like I'm talking about Pokemon. It's not a Pokemon game, but you move like
Mhm.
in the Pokemon Game Boy games. You use the arrows to go to left, right, and with the mouse, it will be weird to play like that, a game
Mhm.
like that. So no, it will be mouse controller. A lot of work to do to
Well,
adapt, but yeah.
just disable the mouse. I mean, no, disable the mouse when in game. Like no, yeah, disable the mouse
No,
completely.
yeah, well, yeah, the mouse
I
will be
mean,
disabled.
Yeah, I mean, like, because you wouldn't need it in the menu. Like, you can make the menu with, if that's like on PC. I mean, you can have the menu, and it doesn't need to have like any, like, you wouldn't need a cursor necessarily to. You can make a menu that's simple without weird stuff. And yeah,
Yeah.
okay, that'll be interesting. So we didn't really talk about a lot about the visual style. Are you thinking of doing
Okay.
maybe something? I mean, it's okay. You're doing it, based on the limitations that you have on Game Boy. Are you thinking of doing anything maybe enhanced, let's say, for more capable systems like like consoles or PC?
No, I don't. I think I will stick with this style for the rest of the game.
I think like maybe
Maybe
color palette or something like that, like more.
changing the palette in game. You want to say?
Yeah.
No,
No.
no. Maybe in the PC of not a Game Boy version.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like would the PC version have maybe some enhancements compared to the Game Boy one? That's what I mean. Like,
I'm not sure. It's probably you
or
can
would you
play
want
in game.
consistency? Yeah, between
I'm not
versions.
sure. Yeah, no, it's not about consistency. Sorry, but I don't really know what I could make differently. Maybe having the
Resolution,
Game Boy
maybe?
palette and the Game Boy. No. If I'm
No.
going to change all the assets in a different resolution, I'm going to
Okay.
to start to be crazy. That's no. It's I don't know if you know about the Game Boy adapter for the Super NES. I don't know if that's an adapter.
No.
You have like a Super Nintendo cartridge. You insert in your Super Nintendo. You insert a Game Boy cartridge, and you have the Game Boy with background on the left, on the right, and I think I will do the same actually.
Oh, okay. Huh.
So that's probably something I would change, and also adding the possibility to play in 4 colors, the Game Boy colors. But I have no idea when I'm going to do that. But yeah, it's my plan. I want to do that, and it's a little bit early to say about the not console version, because I have done nothing about it, and when I will start to work on it, and I will know what I will be able to do. But right now I want to do a lot of things, but maybe I won't be able to do them.
Right. Now, related to who we're going to see in early days, is Pixel already in Cat Town's police department in early days? Yeah.
Sorry.
Or is Pixel already in CTPD in early days? Has he joined the force of CTPD
It's a good question, and right now he isn't, but doesn't mean he won't be in the game. But he isn't in the first case.
It's too early, like he's gonna come. He's gonna be the rookie or the new transfer, like in the fourth case or something.
Maybe will come later in another case. Maybe, and yeah, it's a maybe I won't say. Pixel is one of my personality. I have to say, Patches, Waffles, and Pixel are me. It's the three characters that if you know me in real life, I'm a mix of these three characters, and so yeah, it's my life when I was working for IT companies, and I was like that, like him. So it's it's a character like I enjoy to create, to write about. So he's probably coming back.
Okay,
But
nice.
maybe not as you expect. You will see.
Oh, he's gonna be like, I don't know, different job. He's not gonna be the DIT guy or something. He's gonna be like a different. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. It'll be interesting to see like maybe him in a different, like in a different position in the PD. You know, like maybe I don't know. He's like the, I don't know, the assistant, like the tech guy's assistant or something. Like he comes, I don't know. You know, like he's not necessarily, because obviously he if he's not working there yet at the beginning of early days, then you know why is he gonna come there? Like, does he move to the city? Does he take the job like from someone else? Is he an assistant to someone? That'll be like in to see how he comes into the picture.
And a lot of possibilities, but now
yeah,
it's you'll see.
All right, okay, fair enough. Now, when it comes to the audio, like the chip tunes, I guess in the trailer would provide a good, I guess, preview, I guess, to what's planned. What do you want to do with the audio for the full game? Anything special? Anything like different? Anything very retro? I mean, the chiptune is already retro, right? So you know, but other than that, what's on that front?
It's for Inspector Waffle. Philippe did the music of Inspector Waffles, and how to say, when we talk about it for the first time, when you ask me, what kind of music do you want? I say, what do you have in mind? And he was free to do whatever he think would be the best. And that's how we made the Inspector Waffle OST. He made some tracks that I changed, not musically, but they were supposed to be at this point of the game, and I said no, it will be better on the other later. And but that's the only thing I did. And for when I talk to him about this new project, I asked him if he would be interested to port his music to a GB game. It was okay. So I said, so let's go. Let's try to do that. And he had to learn how to do chiptune and how to import music on GB Studio. And from what he told me, it isn't super easy. But he's like me. He's learning some new stuff to do, and it's cool. And I think for him it's also challenging to port his music in chiptunes and to recreate the music. And so you will hear all tracks in chiptunes, probably also new tracks. But yeah, so we are going to work together again on this game.
So for people who played Inspector Waffles, like in terms of like the music is going to be very familiar, and it's going to be like a similar theme because it's the same person who's making it. Yeah, that's and are you thinking of like you know having the OST separate too, like you know available in a separate fashion, like you know maybe a DLC or something?
Sorry.
The soundtrack for Early Days. Do you think like so it's gonna be also available like separately? You know, maybe as a DLC or something like that for people who like you know. That,
I don't know. I'll let Philippe decide, but he wants that, so we will probably release it. Yes, on I don't know, as he wants. It's I'm not very not a complicated man, and if he wants to release it on whatever support, there are no problem for me.
I like how it said, like Steven said, like Cryptic Hybrid is becoming a story writer himself. I mean, I'm a pretty good story writer, because I can't I don't do the actual work to like do stuff, but in terms of ideas, it's like I'm it's not it comes easy to me because I've wasted so much time watching TV and stuff in my youth. So now I'm it's inspiration is not a problem with me. It's like the actual work for stuff. But yeah. But no, I'm not working in any capacity on Inspector Waffles Early Days. Just so you know, it's just I haven't been invited or anything like that. I know he has everything covered, so it's fine. And whatever he does, I'm sure it's gonna be awesome. So no problem there. But yeah, I mean, why not?
But to answer Steven,
yeah,
you asked me a lot of things about theories about the game. This one and the previous one and Antenna Dilemma, and you have a lot of ideas of what could happen in all of my game, and you already asked me a lot about that, and it's fun to hear because sometimes there are great ideas that I didn't think and say, oh, it's too bad, I should have thought about that. But
I mean, you know what? As long as you credit me in the credits of Early Days, then it's fine. I'm probably but it's just fun. Like it's fun because you find out more about the game, about your way of thinking about the project itself. Like White Tiger, right? Because I saw like, okay, so what's how does White Tiger play into? Is he the bad guy? Is he like one of the like it kind of popped out from the trailer, and it's like, okay, is this a major thing? Are you like teasing us in the trailer with like the main antagonist?
It's a little something for the people who play the first game. So let me explain something first. In Inspector Waffles, I wanted to add a couple of superheroes in the game, and but lame superhero, very bad superhero, and I forgot the name of this movie.
I was gonna say the Eternals. You wanted to add the Eternals?
No, not movie with Ben. With
no,
Ben
I mean,
Stiller. Yeah. With Ben Stiller, is the only power he has is he become very angry, and that's all. And it's a funny movie about terrible. There is an invisible man who is invisible, but when you don't look at him, if you look at him, he's visible.
Right. Which
So it's kind of this is a fun movie. It's not the movie of the year, but it's a funny movie to watch. And I wanted to do lame superheroes because I like superheroes in general, and I didn't do it because it added too much complexity to the story. So I removed it and I replaced it by the brother of Peanut. That's the story.
Right.
Why is butter? Yeah, I'm very proud of this pun. Peanut butter.
I mean,
you
really like the names. I mean, the names is like let me think of things around, like, what do I like around the house? It's like pixels. I like pixels. It's like pancakes. Who doesn't like?
Yeah. Anyway, about the White Tiger. White Tiger is it's my way to create a Batman to the universe, but Batman
a lame
from
Batman.
The past.
Like
no, a cool Batman.
Oh, cool.
And
oh, okay.
It was, and like 30 years ago, before Inspector Waffles, he was a cool guy. That's what we learned from the story. And then the idea I had is adding lame superheroes who wanted to be White Tiger, and I didn't do that. But anyway, it's still too late for White Tiger. Is in Early Days. He isn't.
He's long gone. Yeah.
Yes, and
but copycats.
No copycats. Sorry.
No copycats. Okay.
No copycats. And but there are still reminiscence of his story on the wall. Like this one, there is a drawing of his symbol, and so I'm trying to not spoil anything.
So the game after this is gonna be, the life of White Tiger or something.
Yeah, one of the possibilities. I really want to make a game about superheroes someday, and I keep that in mind. It will be there if I'm doing it. It's not in my top priority of my prototype, but anyway. Yes, so it's more like a tribute, little Easter egg for the old game. At least from the first case, without telling too much about it. From the first case, you understand that something happened to him. He isn't there anymore, so maybe you will know more in the next cases. Maybe not. It's the stuff I like to do, like opening a lot of windows, and some of them will be closed, some of them not. Sorry, but at the end of the game, you will have a proper story, and that you don't care if the windows are open or not, because the plot is finished. But maybe for later, it adds more story about background, the characters.
And when Early Days finishes, how far is that in time compared to the beginning of the first Inspector Waffles?
This is a big spoiler, I can't tell.
Oh, okay. I thought you was like, oh, it's still years apart, because it's
no, I can't tell because it's.
So the timeline is
it's
extensive for Early Days. Like, it's not like it's the first 3 months of him being on the force. It's something like broader.
It's like I told you, it's a story of the
antagonist
enemy, yes. And if he's going to prison, he's going to escape, what else, that he's going to say a sentence, an idiom, a lot of things like that. And the game is all about that, and not all of the story are in the same time. It's different periods, but when it will stop, I'm not going to tell.
Okay. It's like it stopped exactly like 5 minutes before Inspector Waffles started. It'd be nice to see
no, it doesn't.
It stops with him at the bar, like with the milk. It's not like him drunk.
It won't be just before the. Of course not. But I don't want to say precisely. But it won't be. Yeah, for sure it won't be. It won't be linked in 5 minutes.
Right.
The difference between the two games. It will be more. It will be different, more than that.
Yeah. So it's gonna be 24 hours. No.
24 hours. No.
Yeah. So, what are you thinking about the release? Are you thinking of launching it? Let's say the base version for the Game Boy Advance first, and then later on other platforms, or do you want to have one day for all? One release day for
probably it's hard to tell, because I'm as you can imagine, I'm super new to create a game for retro console. I don't have any experience, so fortunately I have friends who know better than me about that. And so it's some in ideal plan, I will like to release first on retro console and then on other console, because I think it will be cool to release first on the retro console, and that the people who actually have a Game Boy enjoy the game first. and voila. And
I mean,
that's
yeah,
all.
like you can have like an exclusivity that's not too long. Like it doesn't have to be like like Rockstar does. Like yeah, we're gonna release on
Yeah,
one
not
and then
last,
a year later. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you can
not
have
6
something
years,
close,
but
but Mhm.
probably a couple of months, or maybe
Right.
3, 4 months. I have no idea. It's but ideally, yes, not on PC on Thursday. On Thursday it will be a retro console. That's, I think it's for the people who are going to support me, because yeah, I never talk about it, but ideally I'm going to do a Kickstarter about
Okay.
this, and to see how many people will be interested on a retro cartridge. I have no idea. And so yeah, first the people who are going to support me on this Kickstarter, and then the other.
Okay, fair enough. So, but in terms of the modern stuff, right? Because
Yes.
that's important too. I'm not I'm not minimizing the Game Boy at all. Would you want to have this on every other platform that Inspector Waffle was also on? Like PlayStation 4, well, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch and so on. Like, would you want Early Days to be on all those too, or whatever comes?
So good question. As you probably know, I think you know, but I did a port for Nintendo Switch, and I didn't for PlayStation and Xbox. Red Art did it. They did the physical release for PlayStation, but they also did the Xbox and PlayStation ports. That's something I don't want to learn. To be fair, I'm not interested to learn about it. So for these two console, it will be opportunities if someone want to do it at fair price. Why not? And on Switch, now that I know how to do it, yeah, I will do it, because I spent a lot of time learning how to port a game on a Nintendo Switch, and my plan wasn't to do it for only
just
one game.
Right.
So yes, so if I can, Nintendo Switch too. But for that, would be cool to do it on Unity, because that's how I ported Inspector Waffle.
Okay. So going back to the retro, let's say, part of things. So in addition to Game Boy Advance, are you looking potentially for other platforms to release it on as part of the retro release wave? I mentioned Evercade when I shared your announcement, because I think that's a pretty interesting platform. I know the play date was delayed. I know you were interested in that. Like, are you thinking of maybe that could be one option in addition to with the Kickstarter coming? If you want to do a Kickstarter next year, I think of maybe like the Playdate being one of the platforms that you would want people to, well, not want people, you would attract people with a release on the Playdate, because that's apparently coming in the first quarter. So I don't know about the number specifically, but I'm guessing they will release in the first quarter, the Playdate at least.
Okay, so the Playdate, I asked for a dev kit because I was really interested to make a game on it, but I had a specific idea for the game, because it's not been with Unity or any game engine that I used to work. It's on Lua, and that's a language I've never used before. And before starting to do that, I asked Playdate, like 1 million developers, to have a dev kit, and they didn't send me one, unfortunately.
Yeah, but they could still send you, because I mean,
No, it's fine. It's really fine.
I mean, it's more about the units and how many they. I mean, they delayed because of component shortages. So in that regard,
Yes.
like you could still maybe get a dev kit next year. So I don't think that's I don't think they had anything with you or anything like that. It's just like we can't make one to sell, so we don't have any dev kits to give away. To give out.
I have a friend who I'm not sure I can give it his name because
that they got a dev kit.
Yes, who actually didn't have a dev kit, and he asked me, like me, he's a not well-known developer, but he released a couple of games, successful games, and he told me that it's maybe what could work is sending a prototype to this guy.
Like a playable. Okay, yeah.
That's how he get it. So probably we'll do that someday. But yeah, it's something I really want to do because the play date looks super cool, and but I have like a ton of ideas, and on every console genre, and but maybe one day I will do a prototype because I have a specific idea again for this, because using the crank, it's mandatory for me. You can't just port a game on Playdate and not using a crank. So I mean, using a game mechanic with a crank, it's nonsense. So I have an idea for the crank, and I'm surprised that nobody on the 24 game announced had the same ID. I thought it was a super standard ID, not very original, but nobody is told about the same. So maybe I have a chance for later.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, given that it's so new, right, and no one knows how successful it's going to be. Like a lot of people will be like, yeah, let me not invest too much into into something making something very specific for this, because if it fails, then I'm gonna lose out. So I think it's more about people being like careful with what comes out new, just so they can see what. And I'm sure if it's successful, even if it's like huge numbers in terms of sales, whatever the limitations are, with manufacturing and with chips and such in 2022. If it sells well and people do play games and do buy games on it, I think you're gonna see more and more people trying to experiment with it. Because like bigger studios and bigger teams. But yeah, I think it's I think they're just being careful, because you don't know. I mean, it was delayed right now. For example, if you
so
had
early next year, it will be out.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really base stuff on something that's not out yet. It's just it's not feasible, especially like the financial side is not going to be great. But I'm excited to see how how it does when it actually releases. Really interesting, like how much how much coverage is going to get. That's a big thing, right? Because it seems to be pushed quite a bit. Well, it was pushed initially quite a bit, so I'm really interested to see how it does with the public and the press once it's out. Like are people gonna be excited and write about it and like play with it and showcase and review it, and we'll see how it goes, because it's
I'm curious too. Yes.
Yeah. Because I mean, I agree. In terms of the hardware, it's a very interesting piece of hardware, right? And it's refreshing, but we'll see how it goes. It's just because look at the Ouya. I mean, Ouya had how much support it had, and it still failed. So you just have to be careful in these days, because you don't know what's gonna work, what's not gonna work, what's gonna pick up or not. It's just if you're on the front line, do you really want to invest in something that might fail in like 6 months? No, obviously not. Depending on how much money you have. But yeah, but it's still interesting. So that's why I asked, because I know you talked about the play dates, and I was like, it was delayed. God damn it! I'm sure he's not gonna like it.
Yes, I would like, but it's not over. Maybe I will try again.
No.
But
Yeah.
It's something. I have an idea for an Inspector Waffle game. Not absolutely not a detective game with a background character, and
Yeah. Well,
maybe it's not over. Maybe I will try again.
so for the potential Kickstarter, are you thinking of making a playable build for Game Boy Advance, and
Yes,
maybe
of course.
available for the emulator too, for people to play on
Yes.
PC too? Okay,
Mm.
all right. So, ooh, what was that? What crashed?
It's me. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. That was loud. It's fine. Um, would you give us a timeline as to for people who are interested? Because I see Dale Coop says that he does want he's already excited and he will definitely get the cartridge, which is cool to have. Obviously if he has a Game Boy Color that works. Are you are you targeting any specific period for the campaign? Like spring, early spring, first quarter, second quarters, anything like that?
Can I take a little break to add
Yeah.
a teasing and to
Okay.
this answer, and I will answer just after that.
Okay.
Is it fine, Delcop?
Okay.
Okay.
No.
I'm back in 1 minute.
All right. I'm gonna have to. Okay, that whatever you need to do, go. Because I'm gonna entertain everyone here. So thank you for everyone being here. By the way, if you like the live stream, please give a thumbs up because it does help a lot. And I do want to do more interviews, and obviously with more game developers. So if you like it, thank you for being here. Give it a thumbs up. If you have any developers, if you're a developer and you have a game that you want to present, or you have a project, whatever timeline you have, it doesn't have to be a playable thing, as long as there's some information about it so I can see it for myself. I don't have to have a playable thing. I've done interviews with people who didn't have playable versions of their titles, but they were still very interesting, and I thought they were very interesting, and I covered them. So if you have anything, just contact me. I'm available everywhere. You can find me on Twitter. It's easy at Cryptic Hybrid. You can DM me there. By the way, the interview is not over. Just so you know, you just see it's gonna come back soon. You can contact me on DM there because they'll open. You can email me, contact@cryptichybrid.com. So that's oh yeah, Jeffrey just sent that. Yeah, that's very nice. That was very nice. That was a very nice game. So if you have anything, I'm very open to discussions. I go in depth. It's going to be the best conversation that you're going to have about your game, because I actually care about games compared to the vast majority of people who do this, who use games as a conduit for their success story or their success target. And me, it's like, hey, look at this cool game, let's find cool games. So in that regard, I'm open to everyone. Of course, for those who don't know, you can support me on Locals. Okay, Ian's back. Is everything okay? Are you okay?
Yeah. It was
Okay,
just
nothing.
a small
Okay.
little break. I drank
Okay.
too much water.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, so there's nothing. It's just okay. Bad break. Okay, that's fine. Sorry. So now that we're back, well, we talked about that. I don't know. What else would you like to mention about Early Days? Anything that we didn't cover that you're interested in revealing? Anything that you want to point out specifically about this project that we haven't covered so far?
I can already answer for the Kickstarter. The idea is to do the Kickstarter next year. When the earliest possible, I have no idea when I will be ready, and I will have all the how to say the partnerships that I need to make the game. And then I hope to release the game in 2023. I think next year will be a little short. And yeah, in 2023 with the PC,
for the release,
Game Boy, yeah, everything. I think it's not a big. I mean, it will be a long game, I guess. Probably at least long game. for this kind of game. It's not going to be a 30-minute game, but at probably at least 3-4 hours, maybe more. It's difficult to say. It depends of people ability to solve puzzles. And so
if you're low IQ, it's gonna take you between 8 and 12 hours. If you're higher IQ, then you can do it in 4. That's By the way, Steven in the chat, I'm definitely interested in Blood Nova because I've been playing quite a few games where that Cosmic Voice has worked on, and I'm definitely interested in Blood Nova. That looks absolutely incredible. I mean, the artwork, it's
the weird palette that I really like. It's very different from what we used to see, and
this and Blood Nova specifically with exactly the color palette stuff, and this and Mothman. Do you know the Mothman 1860 or it's 1966? I guess that's not. It's a pixel pulp. That's how they call the genre, and you should really check that out. I think there's a demo out for it, or there was a demo out for it. I don't think it's available anymore. Just search Mothman, and I follow them. I don't remember the name of the studio. Sorry for that. I have a lot of stuff on in my head right now, so it's information. But it's Mothman. I think it's Mothman 1966, something like that. And like the visual style on that, it's gonna blow you away. It's incredible, but that's another thing. But yeah, definitely Blood Nova. I'm definitely interested in talking about this. But the only thing with that is that I'm probably gonna wait until the Kickstarter. Well, depending on how people work and stuff. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I was just advertising my my awesome interviews because why not? Because we can do that. Anything that you, since the holidays are coming, I don't know how much time you're gonna take off from actually working on Early Days. Anything that you're looking forward to, or anything for release, for playing at this year end?
I don't know. It's a bit blurry right now about releasing. I would like to share a demo first for people who can help me to make the game, and then probably I will release a demo for everyone during the Kickstarter. And that's don't expect to play it soon, even if the first case is almost done. I really hope that I can show more progress and more stuff about this game soon and next year. But what can I say about the game? I don't know really. I don't know. If you like
it's gonna
the
be
first
awesome.
game, I think it will be awesome, of course. But if you like the first game, you will like this one. If you like Game Boy game, retro Game Boy game, you will like it. I tried to really do a lot of tribute to retro gaming, like for example on your upright. SC right on your right, SC 2000 is Security Company 2000, but it's also a famous game and one of my favorites. So there are a lot of retro tributes and of all the games that I used to love and I still love, I guess. And it's a love letter to old games, to Game Boy game. I grew up with the Game Boy, and that's my what I want to do is the game that would be fun, like Inspector Waffle, and also that a tribute to all these games that made me, because behind each game developer there are a lot of games that made us to this point to make us a game developer, and they will have a lot of games, or for example there is also movies, like I already talked about Lethal Weapon, but there is a poster of Jurassic Park on your background behind your Yeah, it's a love letter to the 80s, 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm. It's fun to make. Really, it's really fun to make all these little Easter egg tributes. It's really fun. It's not too much, in my opinion. Just not a there aren't fan service like Ready Player One. It's too much.
Right.
I don't know if you see it. I love
Yeah,
I really enjoy
yeah.
the movies, but sometimes it's okay. It's a little bit
Yeah,
too much.
they really like cluttered everything. Is like put as many references as possible
Yes.
from everywhere. It's like okay,
Every Spielberg reference. It's incredible. But honestly, I really enjoy it. But even if it's too much, it was a good nostalgia to see it.
Yeah,
So,
and also
less than Ready Player One, I promise.
well, that's good. Well, you're not going for the blockbuster. Like who knows
true.
though? In 2027, maybe Steven Spielberg's production company is gonna buy you from you the rights to a Waffles game. Who knows? That might happen.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, come on, like they buy.
Well, you don't know.
Rights
Maybe
for
he already
crap.
called me. You don't know.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not predicting. It would be nice though to have like to see.
It would be nice to have a series of
to have the universe in
nice.
more media. You know what I mean? Like I could see, especially with the artwork that was done for Waffles for the OG, let's say. I could definitely see some comic books like that. It would be so cool to have like a Inspector Waffles comic. It's I don't know. It just anyway.
I agree, but
it would be nice. Yeah.
It's like
but first,
if I have a lot of money, I will really do like that. Like clearly, I will do a comic book without any problem. That would be. I really love comic books, so some kind of another dream to do.
Well, your next project after this, just finish this one, okay? Just finish this one, okay? I mean, of course. No, it's fine. Steven said, like, if you got to make an Inspector Waffles game with voice acting, or still maybe we'll make a movie, who would you like to voice Waffles? Okay.
Oh, it's a good question. Yes. So I don't like to be the mood killer, but I don't really like voice acting on adventure game. It's
interesting.
It's very few. Depends actually. I really have a good nostalgia of Broken Sword, and I play Broken Sword in French because this time you.
Right. Oh, so yeah, you had the French version in the video.
Yes, I have the French version, and the voice of Just About was amazing, and I will remember this voice forever. It was really good voice acting, and when it's like that, you say okay, but
okay, you can say that you hated some of the voices in Saint Kotar.
Yes,
you can
there
say
are
that.
some games, but actually, it's very rare that I really enjoy voice acting. But it happened. But in the other hand, I really don't like some voice acting in other game. In my opinion, it's better to not do voice acting than having a bad voice acting that can kill the mood.
Yeah.
So okay, so that's why I'm not sure I will make voice acting on my next game. But okay, so this is the first part of the answer.
No, hypothetical.
And the second, I never thought about it. Really, really, really don't know. And
Mel Gibson. He's gonna be. Oh my God, he'd be so. He was so.
No,
weird.
not Mel Gibson.
He's
very interesting.
No, he doesn't have the right voice for anything.
No, it doesn't. It's
because it's too commanding. I think Waffles needs a bit more he's not like a rough guy or anything like that. He doesn't have to have like a low voice. It needs something a bit more, not higher pitch, but not super low anyway. That'll be interesting, yeah, to see who.
Oh yeah, Waspy. He has a very,
Yeah.
in my opinion, he has a very standard voice, and yeah.
Like it doesn't
I
travel. Like when Waffles comes into a room and says
That's
freeze,
a good question.
it's not like I don't see him being like very commanding with his voice like that. Like his voice wouldn't be like like an epic like Darth Vader who was like Earl Jones, right? The Darth Vader. Yeah, like that's a commanding voice. Like when he speaks, is like you feel it in everywhere. But Waffles doesn't seem to me. It doesn't look like he would have something like that. He would be more tame.
Okay, I know.
Okay.
Maybe you say about Star Wars, but maybe a voice like Mark Hamill, but not Mark Hamill when he plays the Joker. Right. Mark Hamill when he plays Luke Skywalker. This kind of voice.
He does the Joker so well too. It's amazing. It's like
it's amazing. Yeah, of course, but it's
no,
when he does the Joker, it's crazy. But not this voice, obviously. But when he's playing Luke Skywalker, this kind of voice of the hero that is calm, not too low, not too high. That very, very standard voice, but not in a mean way. Not in a mean way. Maybe someone like him, and he used to do a voice in
his younger days. Yeah.
But no, even now, I would. Can you imagine? My God, that would be crazy.
I mean, I don't know what he's doing right now, but I don't think he's doing Star Wars. Actually, I don't know, but yeah.
Spoiler alert, he isn't in Star Wars anymore.
Yeah. No, but it's like, it's just amazing how much he can do with his voice. Like, it's anyway. He's really good. Like, I don't know about. I don't really comment on his acting chops. I think he's fine. I'm not, but his voice acting is like, Anyway, it's it's a different realm. People can't even touch that. But yeah, that's interesting. That'll be interesting to have.
Yeah,
well, you know what?
The best.
Start the Kickstarter and $200,000. So we can get Mark Hamill to voice Waffles. Why not?
Yes, and snowball Brian Cranston, and that will be epic.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I like how you should think about you should make like a list.
I will send a mail to everyone.
No, every character like pancakes, pickles. Every character who you would like to have as a voiceover, because I understand what you're saying when it comes to point-and-click adventure games and the voices. For me, yes, obviously a bad voiceover is just bad, and then it ruins it for everyone. I think
it ruins the whole game. Yes, it ruins the whole game. You can do the best art of the world if there is a bad actor. It's
I'm not gonna mention Saint Kotar again, but it's like, I mean, why? I mentioned it because
I didn't play, so I can't.
You can.
I know the game. I have the game actually, but I haven't started to play it.
They changed the voiceover of multiple characters, not the main characters, but some secondary characters, and it's like that doesn't happen too often. So it was really like, but I know what characters they changed, and that was a good thing that they did that they changed the voice of two characters. It's just amazing that I'm not hating, because I actually I back them on Kickstarter too, so it's it's a different thing. But it can ruin an experience. A bad voiceover can definitely ruin an experience. So but I prefer to have voice characters, because I think if it's good, then it gives me one extra piece of the puzzle when it comes to me understanding the character. And I like to,
I said for Broken Sword, yes, but a good voice acting, it's very expensive.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Now, just so kind of to wrap it up, are you reaching out? Are you thinking of anyone from the retro space that would be able to help with maybe promotion, maybe with the development of early days, like publishers, or maybe I don't know, media who's focused on this to help it, to help push it, anything like? Because the retro scene is pretty big, but I'm guessing who would you go to, ask for assistance or help, or to help spread the word and so on, who would you go to for in this space? Because I'm not familiar specifically with the retro scene.
I already have a couple of friends in the retro community, and well, when it will be official, and if everyone is happy about the partnership, I will start to talk about it. But now it's a bit too early. But that I have the opportunity to meet people in the retro community, and already share some screenshot to them too. So, but before sharing a demo, it's if the demo is bad, you can.
The demo's not going to be bad. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah,
you have confidence in what you do. Like, you have experience. Like, it's not going to be bad.
No, you never know. You actually, it's my own feeling about telling a story. For example, about there is for example, when I did Antenna Dilemma with a hero that is like to be, I forgot the word in English, but very strict about the law and the stuff like that. It's not the hero we want to play because he's so boring. But made me laugh to create a character like that, and I have no idea. I had no idea about what the people would see if they like it or not. But
which is funny because Antenna Dilemma is actually my favorite game that you've made. So it's because it's like it has everything that even the character, like the cube. It's like that's exactly the thing. He has a routine. And he's the most boring, like straight-laced guy.
He's racist.
And
he's very not the.
He's so shielded.
Not very smart. I know.
But the world made him like that. It's not like he wasn't a bad guy. He's just a cog in a very complex machine. Like he's been like, and the fact that his whole world is turned upside down. That's exactly the awesome thing in it. Like that's something that drew me to Antenna Dilemma. One of the things because it's such a huge departure for the character.
Thanks. But you don't know when you write it if people were. That was the. So you never know. It's someone say to you. Any game developer to say to you, okay, my game is going to be a super hit. I'm going to sell a ton of games because everyone is going to like it.
Yeah, but those are two different things. Like, because
being super confident about stories you write, it's dangerous in my opinion.
I don't know. My thing is like, if you're happy with it, or you're confident in it to some extent at least, like just play it 5% extra. Like if you think it's 90% good, just random number, right? Promote it like it's 95% good, because like always play it up a little bit. It doesn't have to be like super hype or anything like to say that's the best, the best thing that has ever been since sliced bread or since, but since cheese. It's like my game is going to be the best thing that has ever been created in the. No, you don't have to go like that, but playing it up a little bit, I think it builds more excitement, and it's not unrealistic that it goes out of the realm. Like when you make promises, right, that in your head know that you can't deliver, right, then that's lying, and that's making something. But if you have something that you're confident in, and you just add a 5% extra on that, I think it's I think it's a decent marketing strategy because you're not lying, you're just playing it up a bit. Everyone's playing because you're marketing, you're selling, your brand, your project, yourself, and so on. So all of this is negotiation and marketing and whatever. Even though it sounds like materialistic and stuff. It is, you know, like the way you talk about yourself, the way you talk about your projects and everything. It's going to get more, you know, more people on your side, or, you know, fewer people. If you're not, and I'm not necessarily speaking about you specifically, right? If someone is not confident, right, even if they have something good, people are not gonna, you know, go to them to or they won't be as interested in that, you know. So you have to make a boom in order to, you know, get people face like attracted.
But you have. I would lie if I tell you, I was 100% confident of the story.
You have to be 100%.
Inspector Waffles or Antenna. No, even, but sometimes you say, "Oh, I don't like the story." But globally, if I could rewrite some stuff on Inspector Waffles, I would do rewrite some stuff, but not much, but a couple of things.
But it's not normal, right? Like can you ever be like, you know, you being a creative person, can you ever be happy, like truly happy with something? Like this is finished. It's exactly the way I want it. It's never gonna be like that. You're always gonna be like, you know what, I could have done this, you know. So that's not a bad thing. That's perfectionism. Like, as long as it doesn't keep you, and in your case it doesn't, like as long as it doesn't keep you from not delivering something, not making something, to like finishing something, then, and you know, you're obviously capable of finishing stuff and not like, you know, going I don't know, like Duke Nukem Forever, like 10 years, you know, or well, that had other problems too, but you know what I mean, because some people have great ideas, and because of them being perfectionists or whatever, they never finish. So that means zero. Like, you know, they don't bring anything to the table, whereas, you know, you bring like, okay, I'm gonna finish this, so you finish it and people can see it and review it and enjoy it and so on. So yeah, I think it's gonna be awesome. You know what, I'm gonna say it's awesome. The demo. Okay.
I hope so. We'll see. There are a lot of
that confidence
to finish the game anyway. But yeah,
that's true.
But to be honest, the first case is nice. Is a good case, and just need to do
more like a tutorial.
Very last dialogues. But except that, it's all done. So, and I like the idea of reporting to your sidekick. It's to your partner more than the sidekick, because
well, he's your technically he'd be your superior, right? Even though he's your partner, right? Like he's he's still outranking you. That's like in the police force. I mean, he's still over you. Like, cause you're the rookiest. Like it is.
Yeah, you're the new guy.
Is Waffles, when Early Days starts, is he like fresh out of the academy, or did he previously work anywhere else, like in law enforcement? So it's right off.
First case, it's first day.
Oh, okay. All right. So, where can people find you? Where can people, find out more about the game? I put up some stuff in the description, like the website. Where can people, find out more about Early Days? What social media, all of that. Plug everything. What do you have?
I'm active on Twitter, Goloso Games, at Goloso Games, and on my Discord. I don't know the link by heart, but Discord and Twitter are the place to go if you want to know more. That's where I'm the most active.
And on the Discord link on is on your website?
Yes, on the website,
which is
golosogame.com.
There we go. Yes. Okay.
And and Twitter, Goloso Games. It's everywhere. It's Goloso Games.
And well, I don't know. Are you running any promotion now for Waffles?
It's over. It was.
It just finished.
Yeah, it just finished during the autumn sale on Steam. It was 30% off.
Oh, okay.
And it's over.
Well, it probably is going to be another one in spring, right, or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's not expensive. It's not an expensive game. So in that regard, like, if you haven't played Inspector Waffles and you want to get in,
€12.
yeah, it's a very affordable game, and if you want to know the character, well, actually the characters that you're going to see in the early days, you have time to get the game and play it,
Oh
and then
yes,
yeah.
you have 1 year, more than 1 year
Well,
to play the first game.
well, you have less than that if you want to play the demo and you want to support early days on
Yes, true.
Kickstarter. So get Inspector Waffles now, play it over the holidays, maybe finish it, see how it goes, meet all the cool characters in it, and next year you can prepare for the demo. Which if you're going to be on PC, you can play through an emulator, so that shouldn't be any problem. And then you can support the game on Kickstarter whenever that's available. And of course, I'm gonna promote that when you have the page and when everything's ready, because just whenever that happens, I don't know. Are you waiting for the play date? I don't know what you're doing. It's fine. It's gonna take a while. It's okay. No. Like, obviously, I know running a Kickstarter campaign is not going to be an easy thing, so it's good to be prepared for it. So yeah, just take your time, because you'll
Oh yes,
you'll know when the time
yes.
is right.
I haven't started to look at anything yet about Kickstarter. I never did a Kickstarter, so
Right.
it's going to be a new thing to learn.
Well, the cool thing is that, I mean, you know a lot of people, and you talk to a lot of people in the point-and-click adventure community, like a lot of indie games, indie developers, and quite a few of them have had like successful Kickstarters. So I'm sure they're gonna be very open with what worked, what didn't work. So it's really like it's such a helpful community. It's amazing to see. Anyway, like the amount of support that people show one another. It's really great. It's like, I don't know if there's any other community like genre community like this. It's just, anyway, it's nice to see.
I don't know if a point-and-click community would be interested in a retro game.
I think
that's.
Come on, they would support you. They would definitely support you with like with knowledge, with like sharing, with like like financial support as well. Okay, yes. Well, I think we'll.
No, I mean supporting financially. I have no idea.
Yeah.
It will be. We will see. Really, I have no idea. But you have to say it's not bad at all. It's. I'm curious to see that, to see how it's going, how it will be.
Well, yeah, because it's it's also your first time on Kickstarter, so yeah. So yes. Any closing thoughts? Any last plugs? Anything like that?
Not really. Is there any question in the chat?
Nothing really new. I think there was one that I didn't mention, but I don't remember what. I don't know. Someone who's gonna build a mouse for the Game Boy? No. Oh, okay. This is okay. Yeah, this one that I missed. Is there a favorite art piece in the game? A character design, a background, etc. So what was the what was your favorite art piece to make? Or art
on
asset,
the Game Boy?
On the yes, no, on the Game Boy, on early days. The waffles, like tiny waffles.
Yeah, it's funny to make the character. The character are only 3 colors, so it's super complicated to make. And I will say, the waffle bedroom, because it's actually the first art I did, and I was super enthusiastic to do it, because let's do how I imagine to make the waffle bedroom, and it was my first drawing, and I think this is the most enthusiastic. I really enjoyed to do all the art. It was not very a pain to make them. It's really funny to make, to think how I am going to do windows with only 3 colors. For example, that's a problem I meet. But no, it's I would say the characters, to transform them in a Game Boy style, the waffle bedroom, and also the police station, because the police station was the police station is a copy of the police station from the previous game, and it's super interesting to adapt to a static background to a top-down to top-down 2D. It's the same place but in a different art style, different
perspective.
Perspective. Thanks. And also it should be the same place. It should be if you play the first game and you come to the police station, you should
feel familiar.
Wonder, okay, I know this place, and it's challenging but also super interesting to do.
All right. So other than that, I don't know. Let's maybe you want to eat now after 2 hours. Maybe you really. This is basically what I'm doing. Like I'm just making sure that game developers are well fed, and if it's like they can't eat,
it's
then
fine. Fine. I'm not
we get
too hungry. It's weird, but I don't know what's.
Well, you know what? This is like like water. Like even if you're not thirsty, just have water. Like same thing maybe with food. Like even if you're not feeling it, maybe you should still consume something, because sustenance is very important, especially when you're making new stuff and you have to think, and the brain needs stuff, by the way. Some vitamins, some minerals, so all that. Now so yeah, everyone check out Early Days. It's still early days for Early Days. Let's just be clear on that. So you can definitely check out the trailer. Give it a thumbs up there. It's on YouTube. There's a link in the description below to the trailer itself. Follow Goloso Games. Join the Discord if you wanna see maybe some behind the scenes stuff as to production and how things are drawn and how they become what are going to be available in the full release. And just look forward for the Kickstarter next year. Other than that, thank you, Stephen, for it's very nice for the awesome interview. Well, I have a good partner, so that's why.
Thank you, Stephen.
I talk too much anyway, so. So check that out. Definitely support Goloso Games on everything. If you haven't played, definitely play Inspector Waffles. Definitely play Antenna Dilemma, because that's it's you know what, I'm not gonna pester him, but I want another one. Like I want the continuation of Antenna Dilemma, but I've told you that already.
You're not the only one.
No, because it's such an impactful world for the player. It's that's why I like it. Like it shocked me so much. It's like I'm not, and this is not exaggerating or anything like that. This is because I don't need to exaggerate. It was as impactful when it comes to my memory as Matrix. That impactful. It's like that. It's like seeing the Matrix for the first time. That's how Antenna Dilemma felt for me. It's like wait, what? And it's like Anyway, it's a very cool game. Check it out. It's free. I think it's free. It's free. So just find it on Steam. And of course check out also Inspector Waffles, because that's that's the game world that we're going to be immersed in for quite a bit of time in the near future with Early Days. Thanks so much everyone for watching. Of course, if you like this live stream, give it a thumbs up. It does help out with with coverage, with more people finding the interview, with more people finding Early Days. And I don't want to make it too long. Just support me how you can. It's the best way. Go to locals, cryptichybrid.locals.com. You can join there. You can join for free. You can become a supporter and get all sorts of perks. Like, for example, if you were a supporter, you would have known about this interview days in advance, and you could have submitted questions. So that would have taken priority. But so that's that was one of the options. So thanks again for watching, everyone. Thanks again for being here. And don't leave. Just saying, like don't just leave after this, because we're just finishing the call is not finished yet. But anyway, just making sure that's the case. And I'll see everyone tomorrow. New live stream Friday. I don't know what we're gonna play on Friday. We'll see. It's gonna be Actually, maybe something light, so we can have a pizza afterwards to celebrate another nicely done work week. But thank you so much, and until the next time we see each other, have an awesome day.